Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am Black Sun. This is Black Sun's World, and y'all are welcome. Everybody welcome. Pull up a seat, get comfortable. Today I'm talking about Death Row Records, the legacy of Death Row Records, and what are my top 5 releases from Death Row. Death Row kind of ruled the 90s in a way. They only had like maybe a 4, maybe 5 year run, but it was powerful. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm going to get right into it. 5-1, that's how I do it. Bars. The 5th best Death Row Records release came in 1996, and that was Machiavelli, 7 Day Theory. The posthumous album from Tupac Shakur. This album didn't have any Death Row production on it. There was no Daz production. There was no Dre production. Nobody affiliated with Death Row really did any production. There was no Death Row features. We didn't hear Snoop Dogg on here. There was no Daz, Corrupt, Dre, Lady of Rage, RBX. There was nobody on here. But this album is considered by many a classic. My favorite joints on there is definitely Bomb First, Hail Mary, White Man's World, and of course, Against All Odds is probably my absolute favorite on the album. So yes, Machiavelli is my number 5 album or project released from Death Row Records. The number 4 album released from Death Row Records is the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. That one, I never seen the movie. Like, I heard it was a very short film, but I never seen it. But the soundtrack was dope. We seen Dr. Dre and Ice Cube reunite on the song Natural Born Killers. We had the remix to Murder Was the Case on there. 21 Jump Street, What Would You Do by the Dog Pound, probably my favorite joint on there. Even the R&B joints on there was dope, man. The Jodeci joint, Come Up to My Room, featuring Corrupt, I believe. Nate Dogg had a joint on there. So yeah, man, that's probably in my top 2 or 3 soundtracks of all time. The number 3 release from Death Row Records is The Chronic. And I already know what y'all thinking. I know what y'all gonna say. Number 3? Yes, The Chronic is number 3. That was the very first Death Row release, Dr. Dre's solo debut, and it's regarded as a classic by many. Dre Day, Let Me Ride, Rat-a-Tat-Tat, Little Ghetto Boy. 92 when this dropped, man, I think I had this on cassette. No, I had a single. I had the Let Me Ride cassette single. You know what I mean? And that was just in heavy rotation for a young kid like myself. And I love The Chronic, man. Like that is one of the all-time great hip-hop albums of my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And the number 2 album released on Death Row Records is Dog Food by the Dog Pound. Yep, I said it. Dog Food is better than The Chronic. I don't care what you say. Say what you want. But Dog Food by the Dog Pound, New York, New York. I mean, this was crazy. This was like before I knew Daz was like upper echelon producer. Like, Dre didn't do a single beat on this Dog Pound album. And it was really mainly just Daz and Corrupt. I mean, a few features here from Nate Dogg. Snoop was on there or whatever. But really, the album was flawless from beginning to end. And, they only did one album. Dog Pound only did one album on Death Row Records. That's crazy to think about. But yeah, Dog Food is my number 2 release on Death Row Records. And that leaves only one album. The number 1 album released on Death Row Records is Doggy Style from Snoop. And damn, that is top 2 all-time favorite hip-hop album. Like, there's nothing beating Doggy Style outside of maybe Illmatic. But for real, Doggy Style was a masterpiece, complete masterpiece. Snoop Dogg's debut album. That was the first cassette tape that I ever purchased with my own money. I remember, like, my uncle took me to the mall. I had a couple dollars from cutting grass or whatever. I was like, I ain't gonna tell you how old I was, but I went into the record store, man, got the Doggy Style cassette tape, popped it in, had my Walkman with me, was walking around the mall bumping Doggy Style. I think I played Doggy Style maybe 15 times in a row the first time. Like, it was crazy, man. So yeah, that is my top 5 releases from Death Row Records. Like I said, it was number 5, Machiavelli. Number 4, Murder Was the Case soundtrack. Number 3, The Chronic. Number 2, Dog Food. And number 1, Doggy Style. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all will not agree, and I am completely okay with it. But maybe you will agree. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And before you leave, hit the subscribe button for me. I would appreciate that. Like this video, share this video. Until next time, Black Sun out.